Good evening to you. Good evening, visitors. Right. Apologies for absence. I believe we have had a couple. Bob's been in hospital, but is probably home. And so I'm assuming that we've had his apologies as a consequence of that. And I think Mariam sent hers. Are there any others? Are we missing Rogers? Oh, yeah, that's correct. Yes. No, I think he's genuinely down in Weston. Right. So apart from that, that's 3 apologies and the rest of you are here. Good. Declarations of interest from anyone?
I am a resident of Pedham Village, but I mean,
yep, yeah, we're aware of that.
Just had a question about the centre application. Given that we're landlords, are we allowed to pass comment? I guess we've all got conflicts of interest.
We'll make a note of it as a group, yeah. To consider the approval of the minutes. Any comments in relation to the minutes, which I'll sign off in due course? You've all looked at those. Fine, thank you. I'll do that. To receive the chair's report. I don't have anything. Anything you want to raise, any of you? I don't think there's anything particular that other than what we have on the agenda to discuss. David, you look as though you're about to say something.
It's just, I think we talked about reviewing the highway improvement requests. I can see these are Form 49 and Form 50 on the agenda. Might be helpful for us to go back perhaps at the next meeting with a list of all the highway improvement requests we've had through, and just it's a bit sort of feel we're sending a load of stuff to North Somerset without being more strategic about it.
The list was reviewed, I think, about a year ago. I recall seeing and going through it prior to it being sent off down. And I think we have been at that stage prioritizing some of the items. But I think it is due for another review, because you certainly brought a couple to our attention. And I know there are these, and there's another one I've got.
I think as a council, we ought to kind of be able to prioritise a couple of areas and really push for those, because there just seems to be so much inaction at North Somerset. We fire these in, they go down a black hole, and
I think you're right. That's what we did in the last council. It was the same thing. I mean, it was a spreadsheet, but they just never did anything. So eventually we could call them down here and say, well, can you at least do the top 2? You know, and then we paid for half of one of them and actually got something done. But it's obviously a process that's not working, is it? And all Somerset's. Yeah, I agree with David. Why don't we just put it on, put it on the agenda and agree to push the top 2 or top 3 or whatever the number is. Yeah.
I suppose that what that requires is a list from North Somerset. I mean, like Mike, I've seen a list. It's about a year old.
You've got a scheme list, haven't you? So.
Yeah, I've got a list from March. That was the latest version I had of all the Portishead live schemes.
Which is probably the last time they did one.
And since then, I think we must have submitted about, I mean, every month we have something through on the agenda. We've got 2 today. We've got another couple in the pipeline.
So I'm going to take. Can we just get someone to update the list and bring it to the next meetings?
Yeah, good idea. Yeah. Okay. Right, public participation. Now, Eric, you're going to be talking to us after the meeting, because, well, we think, should be fine. But Mike, do you have any comments in relation to planning applications? Good. We're pleased to see you. Right, let's go into the planning applications then. So the first one is, completely lost it now. The first one is the Cedarwood Road one, and 59 FUH, and that's 2 Cedarwood Road. proposed extension of the existing northern dormer. Right. There's currently a small dormer, there's a Velux adjacent to it, and they just want to replace the Velux with another dormer matching the same size as the existing. I had no objection to it. No. I propose no objection. Seconded by Paul. All in favour, yeah. 1205 FUH, 9 Fairfield Avenue, proposed replacement of 2 first floor front windows with Juliet balconies. Do we have it online, Steve, on that one?
Probably on that one. I've got the version here if people haven't been able to.
Good old Bower House. Any comments from anyone in relation to that? They're just small Juliets on the top floor.
Just seems a shame to, I know it's a modern house, but it looks like an old the style of a cottage. And it's just a shame to put the Juliet balconies in there, really. But apart from that, no.
Do you wish to object on that, on those grounds?
Yeah.
Would you like to propose that?
Yeah, I propose an objection. So it's.
Do you have a seconder?
Okay.
Failed. Do you have someone to propose approval? Seconded David. Favour. 4 against 1. So, right, carried. 1015 FUL, Fedden Village. This is a return of the proposed installation of the solar panels on the south-facing roof. That's the Nor Road-facing roof. We didn't object last time. Any further comments? I'm not sure why this has come back.
I don't know why it's come back. I was contacted by, because I live there, by the estates manager. So, and he told me that there would have been some objection from
English Heritage.
Yeah. And no one can really fathom why, because obviously the solar panels are going to be on the south-facing roof, which you can't see unless you sort of stand in the courtyard and look up like that.
Yeah,
and I mean it's a lovely building, but it's just a standard roof, so it's not making any difference to the roof. So, and
it's not visible from the street, is it?
Not visible from the street, and it's obviously a good thing to do. It's a large, it would generate a lot of power and save a lot of fuel bills, and help a lot of the environment. So it just seems nonsensical. So I did speak to Councillor Nicola Holland at North Somerset, and she has spoken to the planning officer to kind of make it clear that if they're going to reject it, that she'll call it into the planning committee in North Somerset.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because they just stupidly reject it.
And I'm assuming we're all in favour of approving that one.
Yeah.
Right, thank you. 0366 FUL Ham Farm down on the Cleveland Road, erection of an agricultural building for the storage of crops, feed and machinery. I think they've already done it. I think it's there.
Yeah, that's
so I'm not sure why it's cropped up now. And we've dealt with the farm before, the access road into it to construct this barn, amongst other things. So yeah, any objections to this? Which they can do, I think, anyway, can't they? Even without planning, I think, put agricultural buildings up. So all in favour of approval for that one. Right, tree works. We've got one here, but there are a couple on late planning applications. 1200 TRCA 7 Wood Hill, crowning and bay reduction. Yeah, reduction on the crown of the bay. Oh, there are 2. Sorry. And the other one is 1201 TRCA, also 5A Wood Hill Road, and that is a whole oak. Reduce the crown by up to 3 meters. Okay. Happy about that. So the late planning applications and consultations. We have the 1101 LDP Youth Club, Youth Centre, PYCC, and that's for 2 porta cabins, 2 containers to go into the play netball court, really. I think that was originally what it was used extensively before, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that the top end, the leisure centre end, for temporary classrooms. Any comments from anyone? Could be permanent. I mean, yes, it's going to stymie the court, presumably to some extent, but I'm not sure.
No, sorry.
Presumably they feel there's more need for two temporary classrooms or two classrooms than the usage of the court.
They're bursting out of space basically. They need more space.
Okay.
Someone like to propose that one, please? Paul, seconded by David, all in favour of it? Yep. The next one is 1259. Well, we've just dealt with that one, so I don't know quite why it's cropped up again. 1286 TPO White Lodge Park. This is crowning a cedar. And the second TPO is 1293 at Nautical School again, and that's remedial works on an oak tree and such like. Okay, so we're happy for those to proceed. And then item 10 is the highways improvement requests. So there are two listed here. I've got another one. So this is 49, proposed extension to the 20-mile speed limit to cover the zebra crossing outside the back entrance to St. Peter's Schools. That's one down by Clarence. So taking the 20-mile-an-hour probably right through to the end of the high street seems appropriate. Yeah, I think none of us are going to object to that. And the other one here is a request for traffic calming measures on Law Road near to the junctions of Raleigh Rise and Cabot Rise. As I understand, it's quite difficult coming out of these entrances and exits onto Law Road because of the speed of traffic on Law Road and making a left or right turn, particularly if you're making a right turn to go head towards the High Street. So I think those are understandable. Mike, yes, you'd like to comment?
I mean, it's very different. Any roads.
As was the case last week.
Even if they keep speed. Unless you can get a mirror on, that's not easy.
Yeah.
So some sort of, it depends what sort of car measure.
David.
I am in regular correspondence with North Somerset Council Highways Department about Nor Road, but particularly the stretch up to the windmill from Cab Stand, which has got a 30-mile-an-hour limit from halfway up Cab Stand. There was a bad crash there last Friday. There was a pile up of 3 vehicles a couple of years back with 2 people hospitalised. North Somerset don't seem to understand those distinctions. They treat Cab Stand and Nor Road as separate entities, whereas they're all one and the same, really. Cars, increase the speed as soon as they're off the high street. And I just think something needs to be done over that whole length there. We have residents doing speed cameras. I had a response from them today suggesting that the residents did speed watch. They've done that already. They submitted their data about 3 years plus ago. It didn't get acted on. It is immensely frustrating.
Do you have any thoughts as to how they could calm the traffic down, the speed down a bit?
Well, the residents, I think 2 things spring to mind. I think speed bumps aren't always popular with people whose houses are right by the speed bumps. My instinct is that there's another road, Woodhill Road, which is also straight and people speed down. My instinct is that we should have a 20-mile-an-hour zone up to at least the windmill, and perhaps some chicanes along the road to actually force cars to slow down, like they've got on the Clevedon Road in a couple of the villages.
Oh yeah.
Likewise on Woodhill Road.
Right, which we can discuss when we come to talk about the highways list. The third one was down off Phoenix Way with the junction with Marjoram Road, and a resident there wishes for the double yellows to be extended along a section of Marjoram Way to where there's a small cul-de-sac junction because traffic gets congested there quite a lot.
Yeah, that was a more tricky one because I've got other residents wanting to put a speed limit on it, because the traffic's going too fast.
On
so-
Phoenix.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, Phoenix is quite difficult because if you put more yellow lines in, there's nowhere for people to park, and so it's always a balance around there. So
Mm.
yeah, you have to look at the area in the.
Well, these will be double areas on Marjoram.
Oh, sorry,
not on Phoenix.
Oh, not on Phoenix.
No,
right,
no,
so-
no. They're
oh,
just,
okay, right.
just extending the existing
right,
ones
sorry,
on the bend. Yeah,
I misunderstood.
with the
then.
junction with Marjoram. Yeah,
Yeah,
into
okay.
Marjoram.
Yeah, in Marjoram it's fine, but yeah,
Yeah.
not on Phoenix. It's
No.
quite tricky. So.
That's fair enough. Okay, so for information, you've got the list there of the planning applications, which concludes the agenda. And I'll tell you that the next meeting's on the 5th of August.